Follow me as we take a deep dive into the legendary hero of the Trojan War. None other than the leader of the Myrmidons, Achilles himself. In this video, we will look at 3 of his quotes that motivate us to show our most confident side. Unwavering in any battle life throws at us. Who was Achilles? He was considered the crown jewel of the warrior class in ancient Greece, perhaps the greatest killer of them all, who lived around the year 1200 BCE. Whether he is a work of fiction, strewn together by the legendary playwright Homer, or he was actually a real flesh and blood human being, it really does not matter. What matters is his words, his deeds that live on through the sands of time. He's known for his bravery, strength and speed. He was almost invincible, except for one small part of his body, where he was vulnerable. During the Trojan War, he was killed by an arrow that hit this weak spot. Now known as the Achilles heel, son of Peleus, a Greek king, and Thetis, possibly known as an immortal sea nymph, he had the lineage that just screamed turn me into a famous hero lost to time. Achilles is a legendary hero in Greek mythology, and his story has inspired countless works of art, literature, and film. What were 3 quotes that will light the legendary fire inside of us to tackle all of life's problems, as if they were pawns on a chessboard, swiftly being cut down by the sword of the master? Number 1. Myrmidons, my brothers of the sword. I would rather fight beside you than any army of thousands. Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions. Do you know what is waiting beyond that beach? Immortality. Take it. It's yours. This quote sums up the man, and starts us off with words that give chills and spark men to do great things. This is the mark of a great leader, the ability to boost your men's morale, while simultaneously making them not fear death, telling them that he considers them the best. And this alone is enough to make them give their lives for him. Achilles is considered godlike in his martial talents, and if his men believe that he thinks so highly of them, then they must be the greatest and can do anything. This is how you get men ready for a battle, ready to face death, ready for the fight. Number 2. You will never be as lovely as you are now. We will never be here again. Life is full of choices, and every day we have to make decisions that affect our future. Sometimes we get lucky and get a second chance to fix our mistakes, but most of the time we don't. That's why it's important to choose wisely and to never give up on your dreams. With this quote, Achilles shows his lover Briseis that he is not just a beast, only good for slaughtering men by the hundreds. He shows her a side that most people never get to see of him, that most never knew existed. This is a side of him that is a philosopher, a deep-hearted man, who is not just a brute, but has the sensitive nature to understand the complexities of mortal life, and in his chosen profession, he must revere this concept most of all, even being considered untouchable. He's saying life is short. Make the most out of your time here, because you never know when it will end. His grasp on these mortal concepts makes us look beyond his sword and see a deeply sensitive man who understands the nature of life. People may think if a man shows this side, then he is showing feminine qualities, and if sensitive to these things, he cannot be as strong as perceived. Those people would be wrong, because it is the ability to think, compromise, and know the realities of life, and be able to express them in a genuine way, show a deeper side of yourself, that will allow you to tap into that fierce animalistic side of yourself when needed. Number 3. We men are wretched things. This quote may seem like it is meant to break a man down, but quite the opposite. It is the ability to be introspective, to know the nature of man, that allows Achilles to be so proficient at ending lives, because he knows the depths of all men's souls. He's telling a universal truth that I must agree with. Men may push the world forward, but we are also the cause of most of its suffering. So it is a dual-edged sword. You do not get one without the other. Also, notice how Achilles lumps himself into this category as well. He knows he is a killer. He knows his talent to end lives will land him in the worst hell. And it is this ability to look at himself in the mirror with open eyes that allows him to know his foe, because he knows himself. This quote of self-deprecation makes you seem on the outside like it would kill the confidence of a man before battle, but actually quite the opposite, because it forces one to be realistic, to know the true nature of the world and who we are. Only by coming to terms with how things really are, when we remove the rose-colored glasses, especially when looking in the mirror at ourselves, can we see the full picture and all sides of the equation. Then and only then can we be the most well-rounded of warriors, embracing the confident, strong side, while giving homage to the voice in all of us that says, "I am terrible for what I am doing." What can we learn from Achilles and his legendarily profound words? Achilles is a tragic hero whose story has lessons for us even today. He was the greatest warrior of the Greeks, but he was also arrogant and quick to anger. He ran away from the battle after an altercation with Agamemnon, the king of the Greek forces. As a result, the Greeks lost many battles and many good men died. In the end, Achilles came back to fight, but it was too late. His closest confidant Patroclus had been killed, and Achilles himself would soon die in battle. The story of Achilles teaches us that even the greatest of us are only human. We can be arrogant and make mistakes, but it also shows us that we should never give up. We can see that Achilles was given to ego just like the rest of us. He wanted Agamemnon to grovel for the great Achilles to join the battle and give him what he wants. He felt slighted, so he took it out on the families of the Greek soldiers who would never see their fathers and husbands again, because they would die in battle. And if Achilles would have fought without thought of his bruised ego, then they would have had a much better chance at going home to them. This shows the brash side that we must have with a hero like this. When one is the best at something and is touted by the world for it, a sort of personality grows that starts to believe their own myth. They believe that only with their help can the battle be won, and in this case he might have been right. We see this human side of the legendary warrior in all of us, the side quick to a hot temper, the side that gives in to imagined slights and perceived notions. This is what makes Achilles such a powerful character for most men to look at, because he represents us at our finest and our worst, while at the same time having some of the greatest qualities in a leader one could ask for, by being confident, but at the same time having the wisdom to know that he is a menace. Embracing universal truths and sensitive depths is what made Achilles a dual character, just like the short sword he wielded, being not only the most well-rounded warrior, but also a well-rounded human being when it came to knowing yourself and knowing your enemy. Thank you for watching, and when you are in the midst of your greatest battle, remember the name Achilles.